Modern fiction. Its features: form, free indirect speech and free association of ideas; stream of consciousness technique and interior monologue; discontinuous narrative and multiple narrative points of view; quotation and wide use of classical allusions. Themes. Life is viewed as incoherent, experience is viewed as fragmented, reality as a matter of perception, alienation and spiritual loneliness, objection to traditional thoughts and moralities, disillusionment and despair of the individual. Some famous modernist works: Ulysses, a novel by James Joyce; Mrs. Dalloway, a novel by Virginia Woolf; Waiting for Godot, a play by Samuel Beckett; In Search of Lost Time, a novel by Marcel Proust; Six Characters in Search of an Author, a play by Luigi Pirandello; The Waste Land, a poem by T.S. Eliot. Some works written with the stream of consciousness technique. Proust's In Search of Lost Time. It is known for its length and the notion of involuntary memory, the most famous example being the episode of the Madeleine. Involuntary memory is activated by sensory experiences such as sights, sounds, and smells, which conjure important memories for the narrator. Joyce's Ulysses. It chronicles the passage of Leopold Bloom through Dublin during an ordinary day, June the 16th, 1904. Leopold corresponds to Odysseus, Molly Bloom to Penelope, and Stephen Dedalus to Telemachus. It has 18 episodes. The book contains a number of pages without punctuation to show the stream of consciousness that goes with the words. Virginia Woolf, Mrs. Dalloway. It details a day in the life of Clarissa Dalloway in post-World War I England. The story is about Clarissa's preparations for a party she wants to throw. It travels forwards and back in time and in and out of the characters' minds to construct an image of Clarissa's life and of the interwar social structure. The novel has such themes as mental illness, the shell-shocked soldiers, and then existentialism, feminism, and homosexuality. The pioneer of modern novel, James Joyce. The avant-garde novelists of the early 20th century believed that they could get closer to reality not by telling, but by showing how it is experienced subjectively. Let us record the atoms as they fall upon the mind in the order in which they fall, Virginia Woolf declared in a famous essay, Modern Fiction. Possibly the most famous use of the technique came in 1922 with the publication of James Joyce's Ulysses. Prominent uses in the years that followed include Italo Svevo in La coscienza di Zeno and Virginia Woolf in Mrs. Dalloway and To the Lighthouse. The stream of consciousness is a literary technique which consists of reproducing the flow of thoughts, feelings and sensations of the characters. An interior monologue can be direct or indirect. A direct interior monologue is the unfiltered presentation of a character's stream of consciousness without the intervention of an omniscient speaking voice. An indirect interior monologue presents a character's thoughts filtered by the author. In Joyce's works, the use of interior monologue is very frequent, both direct and indirect. Through this technique, the writer almost disappears and the readers find themselves directly inside a character's mind. In literature, the stream of consciousness technique is a method of narration that describes in words the flow of thoughts in the minds of the characters. The term was initially coined by psychologist William James in his research The Principles of Psychology. He writes, "It is nothing joined, it flows." Another appropriate term for this device is interior monologue, where the individual thought process of a character is portrayed in the form of a monologue. Therefore, it is different from the dramatic monologue or soliloquy, where the speaker addresses the audience. The stream of consciousness is a style of writing developed by a group of writers at the beginning of the 20th century. It aimed at expressing in words the flow of a character's thoughts and feelings in their minds. The technique gives the readers the impression of being inside the mind of the character. As the readers have full access to the inner thoughts and feelings of each character, they can understand the plot and the motivations in the novel. Influenced by the theories of the unconscious of Sigmund Freud, modern stream of consciousness writing does not follow the rules of style, structure, and punctuation. Punctuation and the use of connectors come from the mind of the writer, but a direct interior monologue is filtered only through the mind of the character. Stream of consciousness is writing that sounds more like how people think than how they speak. It is meant to portray the inner psyche of the character.